This will be part one of this series that I am doing. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. For this video, we're going to be playing Madden 25, but we're not actually going to be playing. We're going to be simulating 16 games in this video, and it's going to be sort of a King of the Hill thing. As you can see here, Panthers and Chiefs are playing each other because the Panthers were the worst team in the NFL and the Chiefs are the best team. Were the best team in the NFL last season. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate, each of these games, and each team that wins will advance to the second round, which will be in my part 2 video. We're just going to do the round 1 in this video. As right now, Panthers are up 10-7. See if they can maintain the lead. They do. They're still up by 3. Now they're up by 10. We'll see if they can get a huge upset here. Chiefs take the lead, but the Panthers take it right back. And just like that, we got a huge upset already. Panthers beat the Chiefs 31-28. So that means the Panthers will be advancing to round 2. And they will automatically be playing the best team since that advances to round 2, since they were the worst team. And the Chiefs are eliminated from this challenge thing I'm doing. Alright, our next game is going to be between the Commanders and the 49ers. As you can see on the screen, they actually played each other last year. As Commanders' second worst team, 49ers' second best team, I think you can get what I'm doing here. As right now, 49ers up by 18. We'll see if they can maintain the lead. And now they're up by 27, as the Commanders aren't really showing much fight here. As it looks like the 49ers will not be upset in this one, as they win this one 40-3. So that means that 49ers-Panthers will be the next matchup, since the 49ers are the best team and the Panthers are the worst team to make it to the next round. So I guess we already got that decided. Alright, our next game is going to be between the Patriots and the Ravens. And we'll see what happens here. Patriots, they got Drake May in the draft, but it doesn't look like he's going to start week 1. And the Ravens got Derrick Henry. Those are their 2 biggest notable signings. And the Patriots also got rid of Bill Belichick, so we'll have to see how this team looks under a new head coach. As right now, the Ravens are up by 11, and they will remain up by 11 and get themselves a victory, as this will be the second, pretty much cutthroat, dry result there, because, I don't think anyone expected the Patriots to beat the Ravens. And, the Ravens advance the next round. And our next matchup is going to be between the Cardinals and the Lions. Lions able to surprise a lot of people last season, make it all the way to the NFC Championship. Cardinals didn't have a great season. They did get Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft, though, so he could be really good for them. And we'll see who wins this matchup, as the Lions are up by, now they're up by 7. They were up by 14. Now they're up by 14. Cardinals able to tie it up. It goes to overtime. And the Lions are able to win, but little concerning that it went all the way to overtime with the Cardinals, considering how bad the Cardinals were last season. I'm sure they'll be better, but definitely not what you want to see if you're a Lions fan. At least they won, so you can't be too upset that they will advance the next round. Alright, our next matchup is going to be between the Chargers and Bills. And these teams did play each other. Bills winning that one 24-22. And the Bills lost Stephon Diggs in the offseason, and the Chargers were able to get head coach Jim Harbaugh to be their new head coach. So that should be good for them. They did lose Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, though, so that's not very promising in that aspect. So both these teams have worse rosters than last season, and the Chargers are able to come up with a victory 34-14, as this is our second upset so far in this video, and the Bills and Chiefs are no longer in this video. It's a bit surprising when I started this up. Chargers will advance. Our next matchup's between the Giants and the Texans. And let's see, the Giants lost Saquon Barkley during the offseason. And the Texans able to get Stephon Diggs from the Bills in the offseason, and Danielle Hunter, Joe Mixon, a lot of guys that are going to make their team that much better. And, I mean, no surprise here that the Texans are up by 14. Giants are crawling back, though. Well, at least they were crawling back. We'll see what happens here. They're tied up. Texans retake the lead, and they hang on as they're able to, with their newly vamped roster, win this game 42-35. As, man, oh man, that was another close one. Kind of like that Lions-Chargers one. Not Lions-Chargers, Lions-Cardinals one, where it was a lot closer than it probably should have been. But they still win. Our next matchup's between the Titans and Bucks. And we'll see what happens here. Titans had a disappointing season last season. They went 6-11 and missed the playoffs, and the Bucks are able to win their division with a 9-8 record. And the Bucks were able to re-sign Baker Mayfield and re-sign Mike Evans. And the Titans lost Derrick Henry, so they didn't have the best offseason. The Bucks able to beat the Titans in real life, as in Madden, 20-6. Titans signed a bunch of free agents, though, so maybe that makes up for losing Derrick Henry. Alright, our next game's between the Falcons and Packers, and these teams played each other in Week 2, and the Falcons won that one 25-24, and the Packers able to go 9-8 and win a playoff game as a 7 seed for the first time in NFL history. And they were able to retain most of their guys. They re-signed Jordan Love to a big contract. And the Falcons able to get Kirk Cousins in free agency, and they drafted Michael Penix Jr. as well. And it looks like the Packers win this one 35-21 as they will advance. I mean, I think this would be a close game in real life, considering the Falcons got a lot better than they were last season. So I guess it's not a blowout or anything, but definitely not like a close game or anything like that. Okay, our next game's between the Bears and the Cowboys. Bears are the talk of the offseason, like I feel like they always are. They got Caleb Williams, they got Keenan Allen. Let's see, they have DJ Moore, so they have a really good wide receiver core. They got DeAndre Swift. Cowboys didn't do a whole lot in free agency. They were able to get Zeke back, but he's not very good anymore. They signed Dalvin Cook to their practice squad, but he's also not very good. But the Cowboys are able to win this one 27-16, as no real shocker here. I mean, they have a way more talented roster than the Bears, even though they got worse and the Bears got better. I still feel like this would happen, and I mean, they did make the playoffs last year as a 2 seed for a reason, and that shows. Alright, our next matchup's between the Jets and the Browns. In Week 17, they played each other, and the Browns won 37-20. And, yeah, both these teams look a lot different because the Jets have Aaron Rodgers this season, assuming he stays healthy, and the Browns, assuming Deshaun Watson stays healthy, will have him, opposed to Joe Flacco and Zach Wilson, or whoever was starting for the Jets last season, because it wasn't Aaron Rodgers. But hopefully it's Aaron Rodgers this year. Hopefully he doesn't have season-ending injury in Week 1. As right now, Jets are up 28-14. Browns score, but Jets are able to run up the clock and win this one 28-21. And I guess you could technically say this is an upset, but I mean, I don't think it's that much of an upset, considering that the Jets got a lot better in the offseason just by having Aaron Rodgers. They also got Mike Williams, too, and the Browns got worse. Alright, Vikings-Eagles, they played in Week 2. Eagles won that one 34-28, and we'll see what happens in this one. As the Eagles are up 7-3, Vikings take the lead by 3 with the touchdown. Eagles take it back, and then the Vikings, they are able to get a field goal, but they're still down by 1. Eagles kick a field goal to extend their lead by 3, and Eagles score again to really widen the score, and it looks like the Eagles will win this one 24-16. as this is probably one of the least surprising ones. Eagles got Saquon Barkley, and they had a loaded roster before that. And the Vikings, you know, they lost Kirk Cousins in free agency, and they lost J.J. McCarthy too, so definitely not a favorable matchup there. Dolphins-Broncos, definitely not a favorable matchup. Dolphins beat the Broncos 70-20 in Week 3. And let's see what happened. The Dolphins, they lost some pieces, and they got worse, but, I mean, they're playing the Broncos, and they also got worse. Broncos lost Russell Wilson. They have a rookie quarterback, Bo Nix, starting for them. And, I mean, I'm not saying Bo Nix sucks, but you know how Madden is with rookie quarterbacks. Or if you don't know, they really like to shaft them. They don't give them good ratings or anything like that. So not a surprising outcome here. Dolphins win this one 14-6. I am a little surprised it wasn't higher scoring, but, you know, we still lost, and the Broncos still lost. I'm a Broncos fan. And no shocker there. Raiders and Steelers are next. Steelers won in real life 23-18 in Week 3 of 2023. And we'll see what Madden thinks about this one, as the Raiders and Steelers have quite a rivalry brewing up since, you know, they've been playing each other since the beginning of the NFL. They've got a bunch of historical games and all that. And let's see, the Steelers got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields to be their new quarterbacks. Raiders got Christian Wilkins from the Dolphins, and they also got Gardner Minshew to be their quarterback. But as shown in Madden, it was not enough to beat the Steelers, as the Steelers win this one 36-21. And, yeah, I mean, that's about what I expected. I could see the Raiders winning this, but, I mean, I really don't think the Steelers are going to lose to a team like the Raiders, as the Russell Wilson had a passing touchdown there. And our next game is going to be between the Rams and Saints. They played each other in real life. Rams won that one 30-22. And let's see, the Rams, they were able to retain most of their roster. They got Tre'Davious White in free agency, so that should help them out a lot on defense. They did lose Aaron Donald, and they were able to try and nullify that by getting Jared Verse in the draft. Saints didn't really do a whole lot. They got Chase Young, but, I mean, other than that, they didn't do really much. They got Spencer Rattler in the draft, but, I mean, he's a rookie. And the Rams able to win this one 20-17. Not a real shocker here, as I think the Rams are a better team than the Saints. And they were the home team, as they will advance in this challenge. And our second to final game is going to be between the Colts and the Bengals. Bengals able to win this one 34-14 in real life. I guess I always forget to specify that. But yeah, that was real life. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen yet, as the Bengals and Colts are fighting now for the next round 2 spot. As Bengals up by 1, now they're up by 8. We'll see if the Colts can stay competitive in this. Still up by 8. Colts able to tie it up, and the game is actually in overtime. And it looks like the Bengals will be the team to get a victory in this one, as they will advance to the next round. And yeah, Colts go home, Bengals able to advance. And I mean, this is a lot different from their previous matchup, because assuming that Richardson and Burrow stay healthy, they'll have their 2 starting quarterbacks. They didn't have them last season. And our final matchup in this part 1 video is going to be between the Seahawks and Jags. Let's see, neither of these teams made the playoffs, so this is the second matchup in this video so far where neither team was a playoff team last year, as the Colts and Bengals didn't make it either. And let's see, the Seahawks, they got Sam Howell, and the Jags, they were able to sign Trevor Lawrence to a big contract. And the Seahawks able to win this one, 31-28. And, I mean, the Seahawks, I mean, they got Sam Howell, but I'm pretty sure Geno Smith is the starter. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he'll show up in the end screen here. I mean, it looks like Sam Howell threw a little bit, but there's no way he started if he only had 32 yards. That's going to do it for part 1, and part 2 will be coming very soon.